Well, hello. Welcome to this. Should we recap the week? I don't know. And still, should I even be doing this? I don't know. I don't know the answer. And yet I'm here. I have a lot going on, and I was like, I don't know if I have time to do this, but I'm gonna make it happen. I am about to start tiling a second bathroom. And it's not like I'm some big, awesome Tyler or or anything like that. It's cheaper for me to do it. So I'm gonna do it, and it's just a pain. I mean, if anybody's tiled, it's not fun. First I gotta get the toilet out, and I bought a toilet for the first time about 6 months ago. I've never gone till I went to Lowe's and me and my husband, we purchased a toilet. I've never done that before. And that was on the first bathroom. Now I'm gonna do the second bathroom, and I gotta get the toilet out, demo it, and then I gotta lay a backer board, a mortar, and then a backer board, and then put the tile and cut. And it's such, I don't want to do it. So I'm doing this instead. But that's what I'm gonna be doing this weekend. So I'm sure you guys have great plans, but I'll be in a bathroom, tiling a floor. Good times. Not really at all. No. But that's what's the plan is. And the reason people are like, why are you doing that? Well, I want to like do some, I've been in this home that we were in for like years, and we've slowly done like updates here and there. One point I was getting popcorn ceiling off. I've done a lot of that stuff. So I've slowly like updated the house, and, these two bathrooms are like the last of it, and they need to be done. It's just, it's if interest rates go down lower, then we would maybe move. We're thinking about it, so we don't know. We're back, but either way, it's like, well, let's have things nice. So that's what I'm doing, and it's not fun. There's like a zillion other things that I would rather do, but that's probably going to be my afternoon and then my weekend. Good times. So let's get into it. Let's get into the week recap. So much has happened this week again. To be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed. A little heartbroken, but I don't feel like I should be heartbroken. Wait, someone said something. I don't know. Oh, I already have a troll on here. Wheelchair patriot. Not being nice, wheelchair. Am I gonna have to mute you? Because okay. Well, okay, well, we'll see what this guy does, because if he gets really feisty, sometimes I just have to mute him. And I don't like, I allow trolls, and people are like, I get messages all the time, like, you need to delete this person, delete it. And I will allow a lot of people to say, if they are able to engage in the conversation, when they just start yelling and name calling, that I'm like, okay, you gotta go. Like, you've got nothing, you're not offering any like good like debate or rebuttal. So we'll see what this cowboy on here does. Okay. Yeah, so I was saying I was disappointed. I was disappointed because I was really hoping that we would see some kind of action with Iran. And from what I've recognized at being kind of a supporter of Trump for, gosh, like over a decade, which is insane. He follows through. Like, if he says something, he's going to do it. So it's like he does, and you can love him or you can hate him. Probably have a bunch of people that hate him on here, but he does follow through. And if he says he's going to do something, he does it. And I was raised with the saying, and I heard it often: a man is only as good as his word. A man is only as good as his word. So if you say something, you got to follow through on it. That's the measure of a man. That's a measure of a human. Don't be a liar. Like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. Like, I was just raised with that in my head, and like, that's just like, I firmly believe that. And so Trump said, help is on the way. We're going to help the Iranians out. We're going to help. Now, what does help mean? I don't know exactly. I don't think anybody does. What does help mean? It could mean targeted airstrikes. We have placed severe sanctions It could mean, I don't know, sending Starlight again, like more internet access. I don't know, but I feel like these people need our help. And I saw something that was really interesting today, an Iranian talking about how this current regime is occupying Iran. The people of Iran are not necessarily Islamic. They don't align with Islamic teachings. They have been infiltrated and then forced to adhere to this ideology, and they're fighting to overthrow it. And if you tell a people, hey, if you fight and you revolt and you stand up and you protest, we're going to have your back, then we need to have their back. Now, I'm not going to trash Trump. I'm not going to, let's wait and see kind of a thing, but time is of the essence. And I couldn't imagine being someone there on the ground, and you're out there protesting, you're putting your life on the line, you're risking it all. And you're thinking, okay, just any minute now, help is on the way. That's got to be, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I mean, so we'll see how things unfold. A lot of people are saying that it takes a while to get ships out there stationed in the right places. And then also that Trump won't do anything unless it's a success, unless he knowingly already knows in advance it's going to be a success. So we'll see. What I found interesting is we've got a lot of people that are upset. They're upset because a fall of the dictatorish tyranny regime that's over Iran right now, if that falls, then it's good for Israel, because we have a lot of people that just suddenly they just hate Israel so much. But let's remember, Iran hates America as well. Okay. We are the big Satan, the great Satan. They hate us. They hate our way of life. They hate freedom. They hate liberty. They hate the fact that women don't have to walk around completely covered, that women are individuals, that we have rights. They can't stand it. So I am a firm believer in individual liberty and freedom. That is a consistent theme of mine, policy of mine, belief of mine. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Okay. So I believe that. And I believe in, and yes, with freedom comes the free will to sin, the free will to do whatever you want. But there are consequences for sin. There are consequences for action. But that is not the government's job, is to police sin. Okay. That's not the government's role. That's between you and the Creator. And we all will have a moment and a chance to stand before God. And there's a lot of people that, they're fine with this regime or whatever, because it's, it's conservative in construct, so much so that it rips individuals of their liberty and freedom. But that is not, there's no God in that. And when you know the heart of the Father, when you know God and his original creation in the garden was freedom. And in order for there to be freedom, there had to be choice, right? That's why the tree of knowledge of good and evil was even put in the garden. Because if Adam and Eve were just in the garden and there was no option to choose something else, then they're really not given choice. They're really not given liberty. So God places a tree there and he says, choose me. But now you have a choice. So there should always be choice. We should always be, as Christians, as believers, we should always be rooting for individual liberty and freedom, always. And so I'm praying that we see this regime fall. I'm praying that these people are liberated. I'm praying that we do help them in some way and we follow through on our word. So I'm holding out and hoping that we do. And if we don't, if I have to come back here in a week or 2 weeks and we haven't seen any change, this is going to be really bad. So yeah. I have a couple things of women here, because a lot of people are like, it's not really the Iranians that, they've been infiltrated by Mossad. It's Mossad inside of Iran that's causing all the problems. No, it's not. You pull an Iranian woman aside that's escaped this tyranny, and she'll tell you exactly what's going on in Iran. Like, it's not okay. Just so I have a couple things here I want to show you. This is a woman, and her name is Musali Nihajad, and I probably totally butchered that, but she goes on Bill Maher, and she is an Iranian woman that has lived in this tyranny, and she is really speaking up and speaking out. I don't know if I'll play the whole thing, but here she is talking about it.
Can you believe that? The Western feminists who actually went to my country wore
okay, there we go. Can we see it? Okay.
Hijab. They bowed to the Taliban. They didn't take to the streets yet.
Why are liberals so moronic about the problem? Really?
It just breaks my heart because for years and years, we have been warning them about the dangers of morality police. You know why? Because most of them speak in a perfect English, and they have who actually talk about Islam and Islamic countries. They never go and live under Sharia laws, but they don't even let us talk about our own experience. You know?
Yes.
I grew up in a country where I was told that if you show your hair, you're going to go to jail. You will receive lashes. You will get killed like Mahsa Amini. But here, they tell me that, shh, if you talk about this, you're going to cause Islamophobia. Phobia is irrational, but believe me, my fear and the fear of millions of Iranian women in Afghanistan is rational.
Exactly. Yes, there's a...
I mean, honestly, you're not scared of Islamic laws? You're not scared of being killed?
Yes, I am.
I mean, if don't, then there's something wrong with you.
How can you enable that?
Look,
why do they enable that?
I invite them all to go and live under Sharia laws in Iran and Afghanistan. They would say no. They always try to downplay our cause, but they don't even dare. They don't even dare to live only one day wearing the burqa or hijab. Some of them, actually, I challenge Ilhan Omar because you know about her legislation.
Ilhan Omar, yes, the
so she's
Muslim congresswoman from Minnesota, yes.
Yeah, she's coming now with the legislation, gathering information around the world that who causes Islamophobia. I was like, oh my God, even here in America now, someone monitoring us that we're going to cause Islamophobia. Those who lashes us, those who kill us, those who hang us, those who, if we say that I don't want to be Muslim anymore, they're going to kill you. Those actually create phobia. I mean, of course not me,
and you invited,
if there is phobia.
You invited Congressman Omar and AOC
to come with me to the, yeah.
Did they decline your request?
No, instead they bullying me. Instead they saying that you're being paid by U.S. Government. Oh my God, so Ilhan Omar is not being paid by U.S. government? No, honestly.
And she goes on here for a little bit, but you know, see, have you found that that's always the argument? I don't know why that's showing up there. The argument is always like, well, you're being paid, or they're secretly being paid. For people that are speaking from first-hand experience, hey, it's terrible. I hate it. I escaped. It's a brutal, horrible life to be thrust upon you. I don't want it. And then you have people come along and they're like, oh, you're being paid by the U.S. government. You're being paid by Israel. You're secret CIA. I mean, it's ridiculous. These are people saying firsthand, I was there. I hated it. I escaped it. Why won't we believe them? And this is also interesting to me. Where are the Free Palestine people? Where are you guys? Like, where are you at? I mean, these people are being massacred. They are fighting for freedom. That's what you say you believe in, right? Freedom and liberty and stop with the occupying. Well, let's stop this regime from occupying Iran. Why don't we stop that? Why aren't you out in the streets protesting? Where are you? And this woman here, I love what she said. She is Dr. Sheila Nazarian. She's an Iranian-American plastic surgeon. And she weighs in on this. About where are the Palestinians? Where are they at? Where are you guys? So here's this.
Iran is the one that is funding Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah. And I've actually heard pro-Palestinian protesters being filmed, not knowing they're being filmed, say we must support the regime in Iran because they're the ones that are funding the freedom fighters of Hamas. They've dug themselves so deep in defense of this resistance, these terrorists. They've defended them for so long in order to now side with the Iranian people and not the mullahs and the Islamic regime would mean that everything they stood for was wrong.
So there you have it. They're like, we're going to side with the terrorists. We're going to side with the terrorists because they support our ideology here. So that's what they're doing. Okay. If you're backing the Iranian regime right now, you're backing terrorism. Okay, because they are the ones that fund Hamas, like she said, and Hezbollah and all that. So you're fake, basically. You don't really believe in freedom. You don't really believe in the resistance, the people that really actually are fighting for freedom and liberty and to be able to live a life free from tyranny. Like, you don't really believe that. Anyways, so that's what's going on. Let's hope we see some movement on that. Since before I come back and talk to you guys again, because I am praying for these people. I do. And I really feel it on my heart. Like I've been praying for Iran and praying for these people. And I know God hears our prayers and God moves when we pray. So don't just be on the sideline, because sometimes like it is like you do feel like, what do I do? Like, what can I do? Here I am, just an American, but your prayer has authority. Your prayer has action. Your prayer can move and change situations. I think I said this to you last week. There is a whole spiritual realm, right? And when we pray, God moves. And so use your prayer to advance the will of God. Yes, truth is spiritually discerned, Selena. Also, this kind of upsets, the lefty crowd out there. Maria Corina Machado, who is she's let me read it to you. The Trump administration intensified pressure on Venezuela through seizures of multiple oil tankers this week. The former Maduro regime aiming to control the country's flow of oil. Venezuela's opposition leader, so this is the woman that kind of led the charge on the ground, Maria Corina Machado, and she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. And she recently met with Trump, and she symbolically gave him her Nobel Peace Prize. And she was told not to by the prize, people that handle the prize. They're like, you're not allowed to, but she did it anyways. And here's her response to why.
Transfer your Nobel Prize to anyone, especially President Trump. You did today. Why did you do that?
Because he deserves it. And it was a very emotional moment. I decided to present the Nobel Peace Prize medal on behalf of the people of Venezuela. And I told President Trump where I found also inspiration to do that. And it happens that 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simon Bolivar, Venezuela's liberator, a medal bearing the face of George Washington. And it was in tribute to Bolivar's fight for freedom in the continent. And Simon Bolivar kept that medal with him until the rest of his days. So 200 years later in history, the people of Bolivar are presenting to the Washington's heir in retribution, in this case a medal, that's the Nobel Peace Prize medal, for what he's doing to liberate Venezuela and for freedom in the Americas.
Maria.
Love it. So freedom in the Americas, like either you're consistent on your stance with freedom and really championing the individual and the rights of the individual, or you're not. And I've seen that a lot on the right as well. A lot of these, and people are calling them the woke right. this push that to kind of actually negate the individual in that, like, and I've talked about this. I talked to lengthy extent before I stopped doing these recaps. But the woke right is similar to the woke left in that government control is fine as long as what you believe in is being pushed and forced upon the people. Okay. So the woke right says, hey, we want to be a Christian nation. We're going to dominate with Christianity, and we are willing to force it, if need be, on the people. And the woke left is basically like, we are willing to force woke indoctrination, ideology, LGBTQ, all of that stuff on the people, because that's their religion of their own. But there's no freedom in that. There's no liberty in that. And like I said at the top of this, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. So anybody pushing something on someone else, they're not operating in the Spirit of God. They're not operating, and that's a very easy way to discern, like, wait, where is this person coming from? Because yes, would I want America? Do I believe that we need to be a Christian nation? Yes. Do I want everyone to know Jesus and have their own personal relationship with him? Yes. Do I think that we need to force it on them? No, because that's not of Christ at all. Jesus doesn't say that, hey, I stand at the door of your heart and I will knock it down and invade it. He stands at the door of your heart and he knocks. And it's up to us whether we open that door and let him in or not. So be very sensitive to that. Anyway, so I'm sure this whole Nobel Peace Prize here just outraged a lot of people, because Trump rightfully should get a Nobel Peace Prize. He should have got one in his first term for the Abraham Accords. But, you know, it's a woke board that probably decides that most likely. So Jesus does not force. He gives us free will. Exactly, Linda. Exactly. Howdy, kids. Hey, James on YouTube. I had someone comment on X, and I haven't seen X comments yet. So that must be new here with this platform. So I can actually see you guys. God answers all prayers, but we may not always see them answered. That's true. It's in his timing, and God's timing is perfect. And the scripture that does get to me is all things work together for the good, for those that love God and are called according to his purpose. So sometimes it doesn't make sense. But I do believe that when we look back, it will make sense, even if it's on the other side of heaven. And sometimes, I mean, we witness things, horrific things in this world, in a fallen world. And sometimes you don't see prayer answered, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to then work out for the good in the long run. And see, I see this life as temporary, but eternity as forever. So eternity is kind of what we're all striving for, right? What we're all living for. A quote that I have on my page is live with eternal purpose. Like that's so all of this that we see is temporary. What really matters is eternity, because we do live, our spirit lives forever. So, and some prayers that we prayed in the physical of this lifetime may turn up and give answers in eternity for us. So that's what I want to say about that. Let's see here. What else? God's plans are always better than our own. Yes. Amen. Allow interruptions from the Lord, living for the next world. Amen. Amen, Mark. Okay. Trump's Greenland push. He's still pushing for this, you guys. And I know I mentioned this last week. The Monroe Doctrine, the Trump doctrine, is pretty much securing the Western Hemisphere from all adversaries. And I know this is kind of a new kind of approach we're hearing now, because it's like, well, is it just not in America? But this is the thing. Is it in America's best interest to make sure that the Western Hemisphere is not controlled or dominated or infiltrated by our adversaries? Yes, that is in America's best interest. That is America first. Okay. Then you had the America only types, which I'm not part of at all. They tend to be woke right as well. It's America only, and we're not going to look at anyone else or talk about anything else, or just head in the sound. And if our enemy gets on our soil, then we'll do something. And I just think of that as absolutely idiotic. Like, that's why you have watchmen on the wall with any kind of secure castle, fortress of any kind, being a watchman. Okay. America First is a watchman on the wall, right? You're protecting what's out there and making sure that it doesn't eventually get inside the camp. So making sure that the Western Hemisphere is secure and safe and thriving, and we don't have any secret foreign, adversaries infiltrating pockets of the hemisphere is wise. It's wise. That's wisdom. Now, should we take Greenland by force? I don't think we should. I would advise against that. I think that, polling says it's a terrible idea, but not that like Trump even goes with the polling at all. But most people are like, let's not do that. So there's got to be some kind of deal negotiated, right? President Trump has renewed interest this week in acquiring and exerting control over Greenland. It's continuing to stir controversy. A bipartisan U.S. congressional delegation visited Denmark to ease tensions after stalled talks, while European countries, including Italy, called for NATO and the Arctic Coordination. Called Arctic Coordination. Polls showed low U.S. public support for the idea related. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it would be great if we purchased it like the Louisiana Purchase, right? Like let's make a deal. And Trump is the great negotiator, so I would stay tuned for that, because that does control a whole northern region of the Western Hemisphere that should be secured. Trump's concern is, hey, if we don't secure this, then China will. And this is the thing. If it's a race between, and this is the same thing with Venezuela, right? Because the government was corrupt there. They were doing inside deals with our adversaries. They were talking to Chinese. The Chinese were about to, I think, pretty much pounce on this. They were already working the system over there and using Maduro with the whole oil situation. And if we would have just sat back, that would have completely been taken by the Chinese and Russia. And then you've got Iran up in there because they're all besties. And then we would have been in a really tough situation. So Trump's like, we got to go. We got to go now. And they have intel that we don't have, right? So we don't know what kind of intel they have about Greenland, or how close, or whether China is really going to be aggressive with that, or whether, so you know what I'm saying? So if it comes down to either China and Russia control Greenland or we do, I want us to. So we're just going to be honest. So that's where I stand on it. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, the Minneapolis, Minnesota is still out of control. You've got people there losing their minds. Women, I got to show a short clip of this because, and I showed this last week, but it's sad because, and I got stuck in some kind of like, when you watch a video and then suddenly it shows you another video like that video, and then you just get like, it's the algorithm or whatever, but it's like, okay. And then every video is similar. And it's like, well, I got stuck watching some leftist woman, the piercings all over the face and just weeping, tears, crying. The world is ending because of what happened in Minneapolis. And then the algorithm just started showing me those videos. And there's hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of videos of middle-aged white women that are liberals. And maybe it has something to do with like perimenopause. I also think it has a lot to do with them using that internal motherly instinct they never tapped into that, and now they feel like it's their life's mission to go protect people that have come here illegally. And it is the most important thing in the world to them. And they really do feel like if they don't do this, the world is going to end. And they're posting videos and crying and weeping, and some of them are threatening to kill people, and they're angry, they're frustrated, they're fearful. And at first, with my line of what I do, I'm like, well, this could totally be I could parody this all day. I mean, I could make satire after satire to take these clips, and it would just be endless content for me. But there's also this very sadness, because they're so miserable. I mean, they are so unhappy. And it makes me sad to think to be at that stage in your life and you just hate everyone and everything, and you think that the current administration is the end of all of it. And the mental illness that is involved in this is like, it goes from being funny to seriously concerning. So this is just some of it, and I showed it last week, but it's even ramped up, guys. It's gotten more. It's increased.
I don't.
A lot.
I need you to get near.
No, I won't.
Ma'am, I need you to leave.
It's my right to be here.
You need to
back up out of the
I
way.
will not.
This is one of our cars as well. You were too close right now. You were
it's okay.
interfering.
I'm right here.
Federal
You're
investigation.
going to get out of my face.
You need
I'm
to
a
back
public
up over
citizen.
here.
No, I won't. Tell me
You need
why
to
I'm
back up
far
this
enough
way.
away from your
You need to
investigation.
back up this way.
Step beyond our cars.
Don't touch me, please.
Have somebody
Beyond our
Don't.
cars.
Where's your cars?
right here.
Where's
You
your
need to go
cars?
all the way
Oh,
this
that's
way.
great.
Keep going.
Go all the way
That's
this
great.
way.
Sure. Beyond your cars.
Trying to run him over. It's self-defense. I wish she was, and I wish she did. And
I think ICE's actions in this state are despicable, and we don't want them here. We don't want them to.
I am not okay. Okay, let me just have this hot second, okay? I just got done pleading with Border Patrol agents.
anyone at this point that is defending this shit, I swear, they just murdered a woman in cold blood!
I mean, part of it is being like a white woman, that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them.
ICE agents are shooting citizens in the fucking street, and the government's saying it's self-defense.
Federal enforcement agencies are being deliberately deployed across the country to intimidate and harm our communities.
No. You've just pissed us off even more. And as a white woman that looks like that poor woman that was shot, let me tell you, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop putting myself in front of black and brown people to protect them. I'm not going to.
I'm not okay.
And what's crazy about this is these same women, I guarantee you, every single one of these women are pro-abortion. 100%. Guarantee you they have zero empathy for the living, growing human being inside of the womb. Okay. But they are willing to put their life on the line to go get in between someone that came here illegally and a gun. And I'm not even a gun. I would say any kind of enforcement that's telling these people, hey, you came here illegally, you need to leave, come back legally. And these people feel it's their life mission to harass ICE agents day in, day out, and they're still doing it. So that's continuing. Trump has threatened an insurrection act, to invoke the Insurrection Act to send active duty military troops to quell the unrest, drawing sharp criticism from Minnesota officials, of course. because the Minnesota officials are they're the good guys, right? They're the ones that are turning a blind eye to incredible fraud taking place in their state with fake daycares and healthcare facilities and adult daycare facilities. Yeah, they're the good guys. These military, the Minnesota officials there, whatever. Okay. So yeah, so we'll see. I mean, if it ramps up even more, then we might have to see some kind of further act from the federal government. The good thing is it's winter, so it's cold, and people can only be, you can be out in the cold for so long before you're like, all right, I'm out. But for some reason, they feel the need to go and to do this. And it's sad. It's sad to me. Like, there's such an emptiness because there's such fulfillment in being a mom. There's such fulfillment in finding your identity, your self-worth in Christ and knowing who you are. And there's a peace in that I see these women don't have. Like they are just, it's so angst that, and it's fear, it's angst, it's frustration, it's mental illness, it's a lack of nurturing, and that's the thing, like I said just a little bit ago, is when you think about it, all these women would guarantee you be pro-abortion, right? So they're fine with killing life because it is a life, but so they've suppressed that inherent need to protect, right, of your own. Instead, they're taking that inherent need to protect and they're going and using it for criminals. And like it's such a delusion. It's so twisted. And we'll see. I really am hoping that this starts to die down because I don't want to see the Insurrection Act. I don't want to see that. And if you got to do it, you got to do it. But anyways, week 2 of liberal white women losing their minds. I could have just said that for this entire segment. So, okay. What else we got? We've got SCOTUS heard oral arguments on boys and girls sports. And I did pull, let me see if I can find it. There were a couple arguments heard in regards to boys basically playing in girls sports because the left, I really thought the left was going to drop this. And the fact that they haven't just shows to me like they've got dumb advisors right now, because anybody's saying, hey, yeah, this is a winning argument. The middle class, middle of the road and flyover America isn't going to buy into boys can become girls and they should be able to play in girls sports. It's not going to happen. They tried to force this in 2024 and Trump won decisively. So if they're like, let's hold on to this and let's continue to push it and gaslight the American people, it's not taking. So if it's not taking, you have to come up with a new strategy. Anyways, Supreme Court heard hearings on, let me see if I can find it. There were 2 of them. The first case was Littleton versus Hecox. This involves Idaho's law banning transgender women and girls from women's sports against transgender women, boys from girls sports. The second, I'm just reading the wording, so you guys are like, so you know. The second case was West Virginia versus BPJ. This case involves West Virginia's law barring transgender boys from girls' sports teams. So that was heard this week. I believe the ruling, we'll find out a ruling in June. But here is Alito just asking a very basic question, and just listen.
Yes, Your Honor. If it does that, then is it not necessary for there to be, for equal protection purposes, if that is challenged under the Equal Protection Clause, an understanding of what it means to be a boy or a girl or a man or a woman?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that definition? For equal protection purposes, what does it mean to be a boy or a girl or a man or a woman?
Sorry, I misunderstood your question. I think that the underlying enactment, whatever it was, the policy, the law, we'd have to have an understanding of how the state or the government was understanding that term to figure out whether or not someone was excluded. We do not have a definition for the court.
Okay, so this woman here, arguing before the Supreme Court, says they do not have a definition for a man or woman. So here they're asking whether the Supreme Court should determine whether boys should play in women's sports, but they don't have a definition for what a man is or a boy is, to be able, like, what? I'm sorry. Like, how can you make a decision if you don't know what you're deciding? Like, how? So it's like, hey, we want to know if, cats should be able to play in dog parks. And then someone's like, well, can you define what a cat is? Can you tell us what a cat is? And they're like, we can't tell you what a cat is. A cat could be anything. A cat could be a tree. A cat could be a fish. A cat could be, how can you make a decision? How? Like, it is the Twilight Zone. And I thought they were going to drop it. But hey, if you guys want to keep pushing this, if you're going to hold on to this, then that's fine. But the American people are not buying it. We're not buying it. So we'll see what happens with that. Next up, and this was funny, Senator Hawley went viral this week by interviewing a woman, what's her name? A doctor, okay? I got her name here. Oh my gosh, did I not pull her name? Let's see if I can find her name. I should have. Dr. Verma, okay? And she, I think she's a gynecologist. I could be... Can you guys fact check to me? I think she is she's an OBGYN. Okay. And she is simply asked, can men get pregnant? Basic question that a 5-year-old could answer, but this doctor unable to answer it. And it's funny because I did a satiric video on this, and I'll show that to you in a minute. I might not show you the whole thing because it's a little long, and I understand it's long. But this video I'm about to show you of Senator Hawley talking to this doctor and asking her, hey, can men get pregnant? It's like 5 minutes. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. But it was funny because I was checking the video that I did yesterday, and my 10-year-old, soon to be 10-year-old was with me, and we're doing homework. And she was laughing at the video that I did. And I said, well, this is based off like a real video. And she's like, well, what's the real video? And I showed it to her. And I was like, you don't have to watch the whole thing because it's short. Because it's kind of long. And she's like, no. And she like insisted to watch the whole thing. And she was heavily amused by it. She was heavily amused by this doctor that was unable to answer the question if men could get pregnant. She was like, man, and she sat here with a smirk on her face like, I'm smarter than this doctor is. Like, she was like, Mom, like, she doesn't know what I know. Like, and so here's Hawley asking this simple question. We're talking super, super simple. Here you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since you bring it up, why don't we just start there? Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. Absolutely. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
Many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying.
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. Absolutely. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide.
So this goes on. I'm sure all of you guys have seen it. This goes on for like 5 minutes where it's like just to answer the question. And she's like, I could, but like, and she can't, she won't do it. And I'm concerned with anybody that sees this woman and like actually has her as your doctor. Like, this should now be like a screening test for every OBGYN. Like, hey, quick question before I pick you as my doctor. Just simply want to know, can men get pregnant? And if they can't answer that, see yourself to the door. Just be like, this is not a match. Sorry. So I satirized it, and here's this. I won't share the whole thing. A lot of people were like, it was a little long, and I understand it was long. And most of my videos, if you guys watch my videos, they're usually short. They're right around under 2.5 minutes usually, because people's attention spans are very, very short. But I think like it needs to be punchy. That's just how content needs to be. And this drug on, but it drug on intentionally. Like, the whole point of this video was to be like, okay, like this is exhausting. Because if you actually watch like what we just watched there, the whole thing, it's exhausting. It's like, are you kidding me? So here's this.
Yes, I'm a doctor. I graduated top of my class. I have multiple degrees and a huge brain. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Okay, can men get pregnant?
It's quite the question. Can a man get pregnant? Can a man? Can. Can. It's phonics. You sound out the word. Can. A is for apple. An apple a day keeps the doctors away. Keeps people like me away. Apples. Fruit. Fruit is good for you. It's good for the soul. Good for the body. Cleanses the body. Oh, the body. What is the body? What is this? Right? What is it? Oh, can a man? Again, phonics. Man.
Anyways, guys, if
What
you
is a
haven't
man?
seen this, go check it out. It goes on for quite a while. I think it's one of the longest. It's like what, 4 minutes probably, but it's exhausting. Even when I was doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, shut your mouth. Like, stop talking. So I just kind of ran with it and rambled for a good 4 minutes and then called it a day. So that's the recap for now. That's it. That's a wrap. That's what I got. I'm sure other things have broken since we've been on here, actually. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Iran. Stay tuned with that. Be praying for the people of Iran. Be praying for just the conservative movement. And I do believe that things are breaking kind of in a better way than they were, I would say, a couple months ago, because I think people are waking up. I think people are being more they're more careful now to what they're listening to who they're listening to, because there's a lot of junk and garbage out there. And I think it's very important for us to be sensitive and careful about who we're listening to and what we're listening to, and to really test it against the scriptures, and to test it against our Constitution, which pushes for individual liberty and freedom. And that's what our movement is about. And I feel like it has been infiltrated by a lot of people that don't believe the way I believe. They don't believe in individual freedom and liberty. They don't believe in our Constitution. They definitely don't believe in the Bible, even though they might say they do. Their fruit is rotten. And so I'm hoping, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a shift, but it was kind of dark there for a little bit. I was watching and I was like, I might be standing alone here, because I'm not bending, and a lot of people are listening to a lot of deception and delusion, and they're getting caught up in a lot of dark stuff. But keep your heart soft. That's what I advise you to do. Just keep your heart soft. Don't let your heart grow hardened for any group of people, even the left, in that love that leftist that's losing their mind and pray for them, but go after the policy, right? Attack the policy that someone's pushing that men can get pregnant. I mean, go after that and tear that thing to shreds. Attack the policy, right? Not necessarily the people because they need Jesus just as much as we do, right? And so keep a soft heart, love people, love the people in front of you. And I'm wishing you guys a wonderful weekend. If you would like to support me, I do have a Patreon page, Conservative Mama. People do subscribe on Facebook to support. I always forget to say that. I don't even think I have a link for you. If you did, let me see if I could drop a link. Because I do see some of my supporters on here. I see Gaia on here. I gave her a flour recipe the other day. Not flour, a tortilla recipe the other day. Because I started making homemade tortillas. They're fantastic, actually. Hey there, how are you? Okay, I see you. Yeah, so there's the link if you feel like you want to support. And yeah, that's it. God bless you all. I'm thankful for you. Thank you for tuning in. And this is the end of Shall We Recap the Week? I don't know. Maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't next week. We'll see. All right. Talk later. Bye, guys.